Hi, Amanda here with Crafting with Amanda. Thanks for stopping by today. I'm going to show you how I used a sketch and the Holly Ivy workshop components that were left over to scrapbook this one snowman photo that I have from when I was a sophomore in high school. So I'm just kind of showing you, and I'm looking through myself, the components that I have from the Holly and Ivy scrapbook workshop, and I'm feeling that tree. And then there was this sheet of black cardstock that's kind of distressed that came with the workshop. And again, looking at this sketch to kind of get an inspiration, and keeping that tree down there, I really like that. Then I saw all these circles, and this is where it really kind of starts to move for me, because I was like, oh, I'll use the circles kind of as my banner element and counterbalance that on the tree. And then I'll put in, this piece of plaid, and the plaid gets kind of lost, and then I'm realizing my photo gets kind of lost. So I grabbed just the back actually of another piece of paper to act as a mat, just visual aid for me while I'm auditioning different pieces on the layout still. So there was this tag that was in there, and I'm going to try it in a bit. I found a couple of the circles, so I'm using those almost like a tree skirt under the tree. I was thinking, do I need to have presents under there? And just nothing ever came together, and I kind of thought it was gonna fight against the photo. So I knew I wanted some journaling, because the story of this photo is I was a sophomore in high school, and I was invited by the teacher of the play production company to come and play a small role in this production, which is one of the major fundraisers for this company called An Evening with Santa. And it runs for like a whole week, and parents bring their kids and they get to sit on Santa's lap, but while they're waiting in line, all of us as characters go around and entertain them, and just, it's a lot of fun. So I was really honored, like I said, as a sophomore to be asked to do this. And it helps that I babysat for the teacher of the class, but also my brother was in the play production company as a senior. He had graduated the year before. So I was a known entity, and I could drive. So here I went to the Cricut, because once I had my photo figured out, I went to the Cricut and I cut this an evening with out of green, and then a bigger mat underneath of it, so that I could pop it up and kind of, it gives it a nice shadowed image. In person it looks cool. The camera has a really hard time focusing with the shadows, so it's going to look blurry from here on out, and I apologize for that. And one of the things that I didn't say is when I did my banner under my photo, I wasn't sure if I wanted it to be to the left or to the right, so I left that stuck down until I figured that out, and this is how it's going to go. So then again, in the Cricut design space, I took this word Santa and I split it, just the bottom and the top, so that the bottom of Santa could be red, and then with shimmer trim, I put a piece of tape down on my mat, and I cut another real thin slice out of the word Santa so that it looks more like Santa with a belt on. So I just thought that was fun and something different. So now I'm realizing that the S needs to go over top of my tree, because it's the title of the play production, campaign, An Evening with Santa, and it's a different story every year, but the general overall theme is the same each year. So I pulled this tag for journaling, and spoiler, that ends up being moved probably 6 more times as I audition different pieces. So I finally am happy with where the Santa's going to be. And the one thing I just have to caution you is I needed to make sure that I lined up that black line so that it was a little straighter, and I go back and correct that. So now I'm pulling in my other Versamat that has all of these extra parts from the Holly and Ivy workshop kit, and just kind of trying to find different components that I like or don't like for this layout. If you saw, I'm grabbing that tag here that has different journaling and seeing how that works, and then I'm trying this plaid tag that matches the plaid in the back, and it didn't work for me, but here's a little banner, and maybe I'm going to cut that down. So for me, I'm really a visual learner, and so I find all of these flowers that are in the craft color, red glitter, and then the green. I think it's I don't remember what color green, I apologize, but it's a deep dark green. And I realized I didn't care for the holly on that journaling card, so it goes off to the side and back in with the original journaling tag. And here I've decided that I'm just going to find all of the rest of these flowers because I'm going to use them on this layout or not use them, just because to do another layout with it, I don't think I have enough to do another layout, but I can definitely use it here. So if you've heard anybody say that you want to do your clusters in threes or in odd numbers and it helps move your eye, that's absolutely correct. And I'm breaking the rule here by doing it in fours, but I'm also doing it around the edges or the corners. So again, that also is kind of one of those exceptions that make the rule, because it will have your eye traverse around the page. So I wrote my journaling up on this tag, and then I tried to use a ribbon from my stash, but I didn't like it. So I just cut a thin piece of the red cardstock that I had used to cut the bottom of the word Santa, and just folded it over and made it look like a ribbon. And that way I'm not adding more texture, I'm not adding another color. It works without conflicting with any of the other pages in here. So after I got all of the flowers glued down, I decided that it needed something more, so I just took a white gel pen and I'm just hand stitching or making hand stitches all along the outside edge. And you don't see it as much on the screen, but in person it really stands out and it's vivid. So here you can see the tree with its faux tree skirt with those circles. And then I'm going to take you up to the top of the screen. You can see my blurry and evening with, but that is again because it's pop dotted up. And then here's me as a snowman, yay! And all the rest of the flowers with the sparkles. I really like how this came together. It was quick. I get to preserve this memory, and now it's ready for the album. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, you'll see the word subscribe in red. If it's grayed out, you've already subscribed, and thank you. Here's another video you may be interested in, and I hope you have a blessed day. Thanks.